Now, standard 10, like in the class, I've already explained how Chief Seattle is trying to convince his people about the proposal which has been made by the great Chief of Washington, so that he has extended his hand of friendship and goodwill. Okay, now he is reasoning it out and he is convincing his people that he finds this proposal genuine and it is going to benefit his people. But before he takes any kind of decision, he has to explain as to why he will be going ahead with this proposal, and looking at the past history of his people and what changes now for the betterment of his people. But there are certain areas which he has to find out. So now he says over here, there was a time when our people covered the land as the waves of a wind-ruffled sea cover a shelf-paved floor. But that time long since passed away with the greatness of tribes that are now but a mournful memory. He said, now there was a time in the yesteryears, his people were in abundance. The population was great and they also had great warriors. Okay. So he has compared when there is a strong wind and when the sea is disturbed, they unravel everything that is there at the bottom of the sea. Like that, when there is a battle or a war or any kind of disturbances, his people would come out from all corners and fight. He said, but that was long time ago and it is a mournful story. It's a sad story that once upon a time we were great in number, our population was great, and we also had great warriors. But now it's only a sad story. It says, I will not dwell on, nor mourn over our untimely decay, nor reproach my pale-faced brothers with hastening it, as we too may have been somewhat to blame. He says, now I'm not going to live and mourn over whatever had taken place. But he says, I am not going to regret over our untimely decay, our untimely death. Because there was a time, I told you earlier, that the pale face, the white race people would suddenly arrive at the country and then they would snatch away the land by force, by killing them, burning their huts, chasing them away. So that is what he calls untimely decay. No reproach my pale face. Now there was a time when his tribes would look at the arrival of a white man, they would run away. They would get scared and just run away. He says, but now I am going to face them. I am not going to live like what our ancestors lived, the way they behaved with the white race. Now I'm going to talk face to face with them. Okay. Because sometimes we are to blame. Why are we to be blamed? Because there is no unity. And now our numbers are becoming less. So he feels, now if this proposal had come, it has come at the right time. But then on the other hand, he talks about the youth. Says youth is impulsive. When a young man grow angry at some real or imaginary wrong. Now young people are very short tempered. Okay. So here he actually talks about the youth. They are the rebellious type. They want to retaliate. They want to fight back. Okay. But they do not see the imaginary wrong, which means that death is awaiting them. Because since the white race, they have a huge population, they are superior, okay, and we are less in number, and our people are becoming extinct. Our tribe is becoming extinct. So, in no way we can oppose them, and neither we could defeat them. But the youth does not understand this. Though they would like to sacrifice their lives for a genuine cause, but it is of no use. That is why he says, at some real or imaginary wrong, and disfigure their face with black paint. It denotes that their hearts are black and that they are often cruel and relentless. Means they do not think about the family members. Okay, they don't listen to the advice given by old people. They just want to have their way. And our old men and old women are unable to restrain them. They are not able to stop them or convince them. Now, here he's talking about how the youth signifies foolish or immature thinking, and the old men and women signify wise thoughts. Okay, knowledgeable and people having wisdom. Thus it has ever been, thus it was when the white man began to push our forefathers ever westward. Okay, now there was a time when our forefathers, mean our ancestors, they were pushed, means they were told to shift from this way towards the west. But let us hope that the hostilities between us may never return. Says now a good proposal had come to them. So keeping this in his mind, he says the youth should not rebel because I do not want that the hostility, means the dushmani or the enmity, should come back again. Now what it means, that the enmities means the white people are going to come and by force they will take away our land, and then there will be plenty of deaths, bloodshed, destructions, huts and houses will be burnt. But when they have promised to give us a comfortable life, so we should ponder over this proposal. Okay. Revenge by young men is considered gain, even at the cost of their own lives. He says, even the young people, they want to take out revenge. They are fighting for a valuable cause, but it is of no use. This revenge is, what do you say, useless. It's not going to help. It's only going to bring more sadness and bad living conditions for his people. But old men who stay at home in times of war and mothers who have sons to lose know better. So they know exactly, the old men and the women who stay at home at a time of war. They know what it is to lose a son. They know the pinch and the heavy loss and the sadness they have to bear when their son loses his life at the time of the battle. I will keep it till here. Then again, the next video recording, I will talk about the Godfather and the religion part, and I shall be sending you the notes. Okay, write it down and learn. Thank you.